Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. I'm doing laundry right now, but I have a story for you that could have not ended well. I'm thankful for how it ended, but I was in a very dangerous situation. Here's the story. I'm going to tell y'all what happened, and then I'm going to put some clips in to show y'all. I didn't have my camera with me, so I just whipped out my phone and got some clips of what happened. Okay, so y'all saw the boys doing the fence, and I'll tell you why we had to do the fence. We did this fence here because we have one mom, one of our sheep, that will not stay in 5-strand barbed wire. So we had to do this fence and the little fencing in order to keep her in. Now, she is the same mama that did not take one of her babies that we named Lamb. And if y'all been with us for a long time, you know that we bottle fed Lamb. I'm surprised she's not already up here right now because she sees us down here, and she's great. But when her mama gets out, everybody gets out, and it causes problems. So she's got 2 strikes already. She didn't take one of her babies. I don't have time to bottle feed, so if she does it again and she gets out of the fence, strike 3, she's gone. And I mean gone like to the freezer gone. So that's where we are with her. So we did this fence in here. They have been in here for a long time. And you guys know that we do what's called intense rotational grazing. So we don't like to leave our animals in one spot for a really long time because it can make them sick. We try to give them an area, then move them to a fresh area, let this area rest, and so on. So we had moved them down. We were like, okay, you know what? They have been there for a really long time. Let's take them, move them down to the 5-strand down. It's like right down the road. We were like, we're going to keep them there and see how they do. Well, guess what? The mama got out again. When one mama gets out, she drags everybody out with her. Actually, the only 2 that stayed in was Lamb and our ram, Trump. So all of them had got out. Guess where they ran? Back down here to this field. So we moved them, ended up moving them all back into this field. There was 2 that were actually still in that field. They were the last 2 to come out. Aiden and I had come down in here, ran them in. Y'all saw the video footage of that. So I'd propped the camera up. This was a couple of days ago. So y'all are seeing like a couple of days clips put together. So we moved those lambs in. And then I just walked Lamb and Trump back in because they both follow the bucket. There never any problems, you know, not that big of a deal. So we walked them in, and then you see the gate behind me. Well, the gate's chain kind of barely fits around the pole into the hook. You can sometimes get, you can usually get 2 little links on there, but if it's positioned just right around the pole, you can only get 1. Well, on the side of that is little metal sticking out, and if you're also not watching your hand, I have cut my hand. Like, actually I have a couple of scars on the top of my hands. I don't know if y'all can see that scar right there. That is one of them. So I thought, you know what, I got 1 link on, I'm going to leave it alone. There's no reason that this 1 link will pop out, but it did. So 10 minutes until we had to be somewhere. We lived 5 minutes from the place. We had 10 minutes to get there. Harley runs inside and says, Mom, all of the animals in this field are out. All of the chickens, all of the sheep, and the boar. Okay, I was like, well, you know what? Let's just get y'all to where y'all have to go. I'll come back home, drop y'all off. I'll come back home. I'll deal with the animals. Aiden was still here. So by the time I get back home, Aiden had all the sheep put back up. The roosters, that was our least of our concern. So on my way back, Aiden says, all the sheep are put up, but we have a major problem. You need to get home right now. That's never the kind of call you want to get. So when I pull up into the driveway, the boars are literally fighting at the gate. So this one is intact, our lard hog, and our commercial breed is also intact. I thought that he meant this American guinea hog and our ones down there, but I was like, why would they even be fighting? There's no reason to fight. But when I got home, it was actually the two intact. And if y'all have ever seen pigs fight, it is very scary. And when you have to break them up, it's even more scary. Now, this is the one thing that I am thankful for, is that there was a fence in between them. They were about to tear down the gate. They were foaming at the mouth. Big Red had his nose at the bottom, just raking on the bottom of that gate. And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I and how is Aiden, how are we going to get these pigs separated? If they tear down this gate, not only are they going to be fighting, but I have 3 other mama pigs and then we also have 4 cut males that are growing off, raised up in that field too. So I thought, how in the world are we going to do this? They're fighting. We can't get in the middle of them. I didn't have time to get the pig board. I told Aiden to just run down and grab our pistol just in case we had to use it, because we have had to put one down before. Many years ago in our other forest, again, the same thing. For whatever reason, we had them separated for a little bit of a period of time, and we thought, you know what, we'll go ahead and put them back together. Y'all, they tied up. We like to have never got them separated. We finally got them separated, and even when we did, one was so mad, after about 30 minutes, we could not get him to settle down. We needed to move him to another area. He wouldn't move. He kept going at Colby. We really thought he was going to attack the way that he was really just going at him. I really stayed back. Aiden kind of stayed back. Colby was trying to kind of move him along, and he just kept going at Colby. He had to be moved. Like, there was no question. We had to get him out to another area. When he kept going at Colby, after multiple times, we decided to put him down. The amount of aggression that he had, he wouldn't settle down. It was very, very scary. And you can find yourself sometimes in those situations. That's what I was kind of worried about with Big Red, which is huge, y'all. He's like 650 pounds. This one over here is probably a good 300. You can't get in the middle of that, so I'm glad there was a gate in between. We finally did. So this is what I did. I chunked feed way out in the field because I didn't have time to get in the fence. I just took the bucket and chunked it and let feed just go way out. Big Red was not as mad as this one was, American Guinea Hog. So once I finally got Big Red distracted by food, and I didn't think this was going to work, but by the time he saw the food by the females, he kind of left the fence and went off. This one was still pacing back and forth, foaming at the mouth, really, really upset. And I thought, how am I going to get him away from the fence? So I took a rod, and I really had to whap him one good time to get his attention. So it would kind of be like if you were needing to run a bull into a cow chute that wouldn't go. It is very common practice in our area that you have a little electric rod that you can tap them with. It doesn't really hurt them as much as it just really, they're like, okay, I'm paying attention now. Like, what did you just do to me? So I kind of used that stick and gave him a good pop on the rear. And he was like, okay, what am I doing here? So then after I kind of got his attention, like he only had one thing on his mind. He was like in this zone. Once I kind of got his attention off of that, I was able to take the bucket of feed and guide him. Literally, I'm going to show y'all in a minute, from one area to the other, and he followed the bucket and went right in. But y'all, it is very scary when you have to get between 2 boars that are fighting, and that it can always be dangerous. And the situation where you don't know if you're going to have to shoot one and put it down or not. It's not ever something that's ideal or that you want to do. But unfortunately, we have been faced with that decision before. So that is the story in a nutshell of everything that happened. That is definitely not a phone call that you want to get. Obviously, we didn't want the fence to open and everything to get out, but the animals being out at that point in time was really the least of our concerns. When you have two boars that are about to be tied up fighting, well, they were fighting, but thankfully the gate was just in between them. It's always very scary. So I'm going to show y'all now a video clip of kind of what went down and how it progressed so that y'all can get a visual of what actually happened. This is not the kind of phone calls you like to get concerning the farm. So I'm just to show y'all what I am driving up to. That would be these two boars literally about to kill each other. This is not what you want to come back to. That boar got out of that fence. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all those video clips, kind of run y'all down through the story, because a lot of people really make farming seem like it's all hunky-dory. There's Lamb. I knew you would come up here, girl. There she is. There's Lamb. Hey, girl. A lot of people make farming look easy. They show you the rainbows and butterflies. But it's not always like that. And yesterday was definitely one of those days where it was not rainbows and butterflies. The field over here is very close to the field over there, which is why when he got out from this gate, when it flew open, he went over to that gate and they tied up. It is not a glorious thing, and it is not something that you want to try to get in between. So you have to be extremely careful. It can be very dangerous. I do know a couple of people that have gotten attacked by their boars, and when they are actually somebody that lives right down the road from us, it wasn't an attack. Again, the boars were fighting. He was trying to get them separated. As he was kind of moving around and settling down, his tusk got the man in the leg, and y'all, he had to go to the hospital. Lots of issues. He didn't mean to. The man just got too close when he was very upset. So it can be a very dangerous situation. We didn't want to have to shoot him, so I was trying to be very patient and be very smart. I'm so thankful that it turned out like it did, but thankfully it didn't end up as deadly. I didn't have to shoot either one of them. They finally broke up. He calmed down enough to go back to the field, because we have, like I said, we've had this situation before, and it didn't turn out well, so it was very nerve-wracking. But I just wanted to show y'all what really happens on the farm. There are a lot of good days, like when we have lambs and when we have calves. Our meat birds are doing great. There are a lot of good things that happen on a farm. Growing your own food, there are a lot of good things. But then there are also times where situations can turn very scary very fast, and it's not ever something you want to face, but sometimes that's just the way it is. That's just life on the farm. So I wanted to kind of show y'all those clips, let you know what happened. It did turn out good, but it could have been really bad. Okay, I'm fixing to go finish help them as well, set up the rest of this fence. Now the reason why we're doing this side over here with this fence is because we really do need to move the sheep. We need to be able to move them into an area while the other area rests. So we did spend a little bit of money getting this fence. The girls and the guys have been out there working today getting that set up, so that we can have this area for the sheep. I don't think they lack a whole lot more, so I'm going to go try to help them finish that up. Guys, thank you as always for watching our channel. The good things that happen, the bad things that happen, and everything in between. We are so thankful for y'all. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.